Hello YouTubers, welcome back my friends. Thank you for stopping by, really appreciate it. You're giving me motivation to do what I do. In this video I'd like to get into one of the subjects, which is power versus frequency. And I would like to demonstrate and give you a few examples on my own and talk about it. And also I'd like to show you a patent, US patent, describing mechanism and giving some references on the power output from your coil, what it has to be in order to get some effects. Alright guys, so if you go to my website, which is bbmpulsar.org, and if you scroll it down to one of the posts, I believe this one here, right here, it's titled Sterilizing with 2 Tesla. Just click on it, and once it opens up, you will have another link down below here. Just click on that link and you'll get a PDF file. Scroll all the way to the top. This is a United States patent number 4,524,079. It was submitted on June 18, 1985. This is the patent that describing mechanism of deactivating microorganisms by an oscillating magnetic field, right here. Gonna scroll it down. I'm not gonna read it all. It's available off of my website. You can download and read it. It's interesting stuff here. So in this patent they are talking about sterilization effect that they can get from the coil, and they're saying that it requires at least 2 Tesla of oscillating magnetic field, of AC field. 2 Tesla is 20,000 Gauss to be coming out from one of the sides of this coil, and anything is gonna be that's placed above the coil or nearby the coil will be sterilized. So let's say you have some milk in container and you would like to sterilize it. You would place it next to the coil and you would release in here it says 10 to up to 100 pulses, and they're saying that there is no more beneficial effect after 100 pulses, but minimum 5 to 10 pulses. I believe it says 5 to 10 pulses, and you can get a sterilization effect, but your power has to be at least 2 Tesla of AC, or is this equivalent to 4 Tesla DC pulse. I want to give you an example. Here is you right here at this point. From this point to this point is 100 miles. This is your transmitter here. This is your receiver. You need to send a message from this point 100 miles away. Now we have some data. The first thing is 1 watt of power. If we apply 1 watt of power, we're gonna be able to send the signal 1 mile away from the transmitter. If we apply 10 watts of power, we can send the signal 10 miles away, and so on up to 100 miles. In order to get to destination point, we need to send the signal, which is 100 watts of power. And also there is a requirement. The second requirement is the message has to be for 10 seconds long, because your message contains some information, and this information needs to be requires the time to be transmitted. And so the full transmission requires 10 seconds for communication link to send the full message. Also, there is one more requirement in here. If your signal is less than 2 millivolts in power, when it gets to here, it will be discarded as a noise. It will not be accepted as a signal. It will be discarded as a noise. Anything below, let's say 2 volt, this is the number that it could be 1 millivolt or around that power. If we receive less than that power at the receiver, the signal is not going to be received. So your requirements is to send a signal that is going to be here, that will get to here with a power at least 2 milliwatts. And in order to do that, your signal has to be with at least 100 watts and it has to be sent for 10 seconds, transmitted for 10 seconds. Now, if you send in your signal with a 10 watt of power, how far will your signal travel? It's very understandable. It will only travel 10 miles away. If you send this signal for 10 times in, let's say you send it 6 times in 1 minute. So every 10 seconds you send a new signal, you send a new signal, you send a new signal. Yes, you're gonna send six messages, and your messages, each time you're gonna invest energy into sending it. And if you send 10 messages each minute, and if you keep sending this for an hour, you're gonna send around 360 messages. Each message would be 10 seconds, but they will only get to 10 miles range. Yes, you're gonna invest a lot of energy into sending all this time into these messages, and you're also gonna spend a lot of time. You're gonna invest 1 hour and you're only gonna get 10 miles. It doesn't matter if you're gonna spend 10 hours, you're still not gonna get past 10 miles. Now, if you're gonna invest 50 watts of energy, same scenario, you're just gonna get a slightly farther, but your message is still not gonna get to the receiver point, and you will not activate and do whatever it has to get done if message does get to the final destination. So let's say another scenario where you invest almost 100 watts, but you invest slightly shy than that, like 90 watts, and you're transmitting that 360 times and each for a whole hour, and claiming that you invested so much energy into sending this signal, but the end result, you still didn't get to the destination point, and at the receiver your message was just a noise. It wasn't a signal that could be read and identified for a message. It was just a noise because it was below 2 milliwatts. Right here was 2 milliwatts, but right here is like 1.5 milliwatt, and that's below 2 milliwatt, and that falls into the noise level. Now, if you invest more than 90 watts, but if you invest 150 watts of energy and you send a signal that will travel 150 miles range, so at the point of 100-mile range, you're gonna have, instead of 2 milliwatts, you will have around 3 milliwatts of signal, and your message will get through in a first 10-second send. So all you have to invest is 10 seconds of continuous transmission of 150 watts of energy, and you will get your message delivered at the receiver point, at the destination point. So this is an example, first example, and I'm gonna give you another example here. It costs $100 to send 10 LB box that you have here from your California mail shop to your New York house. The rate is $1 per 30 miles for 10 LB box. If you come to the mail shop and you say, I only have $20 in my pocket, how far will you send my 10 LB box from California? They will do calculation. They're gonna say, for $20, we're only gonna be able to send it to Nevada, which is about 600 miles away from where you at. You're gonna say, I have $80. How far will you send it for $80? Well, they're gonna say, we're gonna send it to this far, but you're still not gonna get to your New York house, which is 3,000 miles away. In order to get to here, you have to pay at least $100. If you pay $120, this will be plenty enough to cover all expenses, costs, and have some extra for a tip to your mailman. And that's how you get your message or your package, or that's how you get the job done from here to here with enough resources. In this case, enough money. In our case, when we're looking at the pattern, it's the magnetic energy that comes out from this coil. You have to have enough energy that comes out, and it has to have long enough duration